This week I'm driving Audi's spectacular GT E-Tron RS. I think we can agree that this is a fairly spectacular looking car. It looks a little bit like a stealth bomber, something that's made for another time, for another place. But instead, this gorgeous, low, slinky piece of beautiful artwork is an electric car, and it's fast. It's a hatchback, 4 doors, which gives the rear seats better access than what normal 2-door GT cars do. Around the back, an RS badge and a rather spectacular light show when you open the car. And if you've got the key in your pocket, which I don't, the gesture control will open the boot for you. It's a fairly small boot and the seats fold down fairly flat in a 40-40-20 configuration. And there's a close and lock button, which, as you know, I like a lot. It means you don't have to schlep around the side. Getting in is interesting. Come with me. Oh, now I've left the air conditioning on so that I've got a cool car to get into. And now I'm in the back. There's a glass sunroof over top, so I don't feel completely closed in, but that roof is way, way low, very low. You'll notice the windows are frameless as well. But this is more like being in the back of one of those 2-door Aston Martins or the Lexuses. Now this seat has been slid forward a bit to give me a little bit of space, but you'll see the driver's seat has slid back because it's got easy access, which means it slides back when you turn the ignition off. Now, yes, I've got the air conditioning going because this is an electric car, and it means I'm not using up any polar bears. Turning the ignition on slides the seat forward, and you can see here I've customized it to myself. I've given myself a, well, let's turn that sound down. I've given myself a user profile, and so now that means that I am able to put all my personal settings in there. It'll save them for me. The inside of this car is fantastic. And this beautiful quilted sort of eccentric pattern leather. There's seat heating and cooling, buttons just here, and all of the climate control is in a simple row of buttons. Now they're not touch sensitive like previous Audis were. Below that is the drive select button where you can go and select the different drive modes. And of course you've got a digital dash that's this wide and a head-up display. Now I'm going to try and find, I'll see if this will work, Audi Service Centre Zetland.
Please give me a search term.
Audi Service Centre Zetland.
Please give me a search term.
Audi Service Centre Zetland.
I'm looking for destinations for you. Please wait a moment.
It's not usually this obstinate. It's found it for me before.
Please now say additional search terms or select a line number.
Here we go.
Would you like to start route guidance now?
Yes, please.
I've started route guidance.
Now the reason I'm using this instead of the wireless CarPlay is that it's going to show up in my head-up display and in my driver's instruments. I think if you use Apple Maps it does too. I've got a simple knob here for the gears, a park button and the parking button. It's completely automatic and it goes so close to the car behind that honestly I gave myself the heebie-jeebies. The cabin is beautiful with this carbon fibre trim and Alcantara. And one thing I like is this button down here, which is the radio control button. Whoops. It's touch control, and if you just put your finger around, it'll turn the sound up and down, or you can press it for other functions. Don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's a funny simulated motor sound. I'm on the old Pacific Highway, by the way, where I often go for my tests. And owing to the number of motorcyclists that have killed themselves over the last few years or decades, they've dropped the speed limit gradually further and further. And I just noticed today from last week they've dropped it to 70 from 80. So I better be doing 70. I'm just so used to doing 80. Now, as we're going along, I can see that the head-up display is showing my directions and also showing my speed and showing the lane control. This is a beautiful car. I've gone over the Audi fitments over the last few weeks with the other electric Audis and indeed non-electric Audis. And one thing I've noticed is that there's a feeling of solidity and quality. I mean, this has got a really huge battery, but when I went to fill it up the other day to top it up from 50%, it took about half an hour. Went down, did a little bit of shopping, and it was at 99%. I just had to wait for another minute or so. Now, I had navigated to the charging station, so it was able to take full advantage of the fast charging. So I can adjust my bolsters. I'm just going to bring those in a little. And I'm going to give myself a massage, which I could, by the way, also have started from the button down on the side of the seat. But you've got to change whichever, actually let's make it pulse. You've got to change whichever one you want on the actual screen. So let's go back to there. Let's go drive, select dynamic. Right, and oh, God, Struth! And we're at 100. But I want 110. That's blimey. No matter how much you think you're ready for it, you're not ready for it. And resume. Okay, a tap forward will bring resume on and take you to the speed that you'd previously programmed. Now that I've calmed down a bit, once again, the Audi is humming along, doing its own thing. Everything feels of the most beautiful quality. And the only thing I've got a little concern about is piano black. It always gets scratched. It never really looks any good. It's always dusty. I'd prefer a matte finish on that. And also, it shines light into your eyes, although this has a curved surface, so at least it's not going to be as bad as those flat surfaces. But everything you see, feel, what you touch is soft and elegant. And what isn't soft and elegant is quality plastic. Like I said, piano black, like it or not, does feel like good quality. And this carbon fibre has got the most bizarre feel to it. It's sort of matte. It's absolutely lovely. I just keep touching it. Just find myself feeling it. Now, while I'm having my little massage, I can tell you that changed view, what I'm trying to get, I've got 280 kilometers worth of range left, and I've used about not quite a quarter. At the end of the day, this is, as it says, a GT car. It's meant to cross nations, to cross countries, and you can do that with fast charging. Believe it or not, you just need to plan a little more than you would if you had a petrol car or a diesel car. But this is also a track car, and if you put it into track mode, oh, and by the way, that reminds me, I thought there wasn't a sync button in this car. There's not a control for it. It's not anywhere in the controls. And what I discovered was that if you press and hold auto, sync comes up. So if you change it, now it's not synced, now it's synced. I don't know why they put it on there. It's not signed. You can't get at it any other way. Anyway. And of course, the best way to operate your Audi is by voice, so stop navigation.
Stopping route guidance.
You can see that it's easy to navigate around town. It's easy to steer, despite its massive size. This is one of the best cars I've ever driven, and it may well just be my new favourite car.